definition of a FilAm? Can I consider myself as a FilAm? That is the digital era.
Right.
When you put yourself out there, you are subjected to the most painful of everything. But then you can also use that to build yourself up.
This is not just comedy, huh?
I know. My jokes were ready.
What's up, Pandeez?
You're listening to the Pandesoul podcast.
Join us as we unpack the flavors of being Filipino
And American. We're your hosts, Dremagix, the Fictitious Professor, and EJ Villaman.
And we hope you're hungry.
Because there's plenty to go around. What's up, Pandeez? Welcome back to another episode of the Pandesoul podcast. I'm your host, Dremagix.
I'm EJ Villaman.
And today we have a special guest, si Neo from The Matrix. Our special guest is our executive producer, Christian Reasonda.
What up?
We
Hello.
finally got you after
Hi, y'all.
61 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Have I
Yeah.
not guessed it? I haven't
This is
guessed
your
it on
first
this
guest
day.
day.
You're just so busy.
And we're
Welcome
here.
to my mall.
This is your house. Dang.
Wow,
My
jeez.
house. Oh my God, this is my gym, man.
You have a lot of people
Gold-
here.
It's gold.
It's gold.
We have
My
a
gym is
special episode here at Plaza West Covina. We're at FAHM Mania 3 with on the Soul Podcast, Adobers.net, Hiraya Media, all the things.
All of
and
them.
Before we start the episode, please make sure you go on YouTube, look at the past episodes, Spotify, listen to the past episodes, follow, comment, do all the things. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the internet, push all the buttons. But this episode, because FAHM Mania, the theme is bridging the generations.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
London Bridge is falling down.
Yeah.
Bridging the generations.
So how the experience from moving from the Philippines to the U.S. as an adult is like crazy.
Wow.
That's the first question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Why you didn't? This is not just comedy, huh?
I know. My jokes were ready.
No, we're gonna talk shit for real.
Now we're gonna make a joke out of your life.
No, but like you moved from home to home. From the Philippines
the
to
Matrix.
LA, right? Through the Matrix. How is it? Because our experiences are different. I moved when I was a kid, so I'm primarily FilAm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you moved from inside your mom to
I
here.
did. So I'm Phil.
I'm Phil.
Ako feeling American.
Eh?
Feeling America.
Feeling American.
Yeah.
But, it was actually interesting because we got our papers. Okay, so my lolo, my dad's dad, is actually a veteran, and I think it was a privilege for the children of
Yeah.
the lolo and the grandchildren to be petitioned.
Oh.
So like when we got our papers,
I have a question. Did all of you get your petition at the same time, or was
yeah,
there
we flew in. Like
was
the
there
entire
favorites?
aisle
Was there
Hiraya
favorites?
Sondas.
Oh, okay.
That must have been a fun plane
It
ride.
wasn't just like, okay, we have 3 papers. Some of you have to stay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Spin this bottle.
The siblings of my dad who got the papers were the unmarried. So the first 2, they're like single, and so it was easier for them
Yeah.
to travel. But then we got our papers 2013, and they filed the petition in 1992. So my grandparents were waiting for all of our papers for 21 years. And I did not know, because like by 2013, I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
So I had my teenage angst and my going into existential crisis. So I did not actually think about, we're moving, whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I was an activist in the Philippines, and so moving out of the Philippines, going to the States, it was actually, I hated it. I resented it so much to a point that I unearthed the...
Wow, expensive word.
That is an expensive word.
No, I
There's
unearthed...
three syllables.
I unearthed colonialism.
Yeah.
That kind of an argument, which, if you're from the Philippines,
Yeah.
a third world country, and you got like a free pass to go
Yeah.
to the States, you should be, head over heels. It's like, yay,
Right.
the greener pastures and whatnot. But I was like, nah. So 2013 we got it. Our point of entry was Hawaii.
Okay.
So that's my first trip. That was my first travel using a plane. I never want to travel because my life was like school, house, and then school, court because I was a badminton player, right?
Oh wow.
That was my life. That was my
Dang.
life, and so that was
wasn't good.
Flying out of the Philippines. I'm like, oh my god, have you tried? Just kidding. And then I went to Hawaii, Maui actually. The entire block are like old Ilocanos.
Sure.
Because my lolo is Ilocano.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, is this America? So I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this. And so I talked to my parents. I'm like, when I get the green card or whatever that is, however much time we need,
Yeah.
until I get it,
leaving.
I'ma leave here.
I
Yeah.
wanna be
So we got it 2 weeks
where white
after.
people are.
You got a what?
We got it 2 weeks after, the green card and then the SSN.
Okay.
Right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah.
So like 2 weeks after I booked my flight. I booked my flight going back to the Philippines. And then they told me you have to go back to the States every time. So every summer I'm here.
Yeah.
So like we start school in the Philippines, I think June or July.
Yeah.
And so April and May I'm here. So like I just do
So preschool.
Huh?
Preschool, you were here.
Yeah, summer. So I do like side jobs and everything,
Yeah.
part-time jobs. So when I go back to the Philippines, I'm balling. Because that's dollars.
Currency,
Yeah.
exchange.
And I was a scholar
Yeah.
in my school, and so like at least I have it. But then the thing about it's more like a cheat code for me. Shout out cheat coders.
Damn. Wow.
No, it was a
Shameless plug.
It was a cheat code for me because like culture shock.
Yeah.
I know English
Yeah.
because I was a communication student, and English is one of the things that you learn since first grade.
Yeah.
So it was a major subject, right?
Yeah,
And
major
most of the
subject.
time, the
Yeah.
the English subject is the English subject is my one of the grades that's high for me. I don't know why, because I fancy English so much, right? And so the culture shock wasn't that shocking for me, because like I'm here para siyang test run.
I have to add
Trial.
subtitles to this part. Hold on.
Learn your Tagalog.
Yeah, learn your
So it wasn't difficult for me to
Right,
communicate,
Yeah.
and most of the time that is the barrier, that communication barrier. That is the thing that hinders an immigrant from like success technically, or like
Sure.
opportunities, because like you don't speak their language. You only speak your dialect or your language in the Philippines, and then moving to the States, up until now I'm intimidated by the humor, because that's like the highest thing.
Yeah, but like,
humor.
you get the jokes. Like,
I get the jokes, but I want to make the jokes.
oh, you want to make?
Yeah.
You want to be where the people are.
Yes. What's that word again? Oh. But yeah, culture shock is it wasn't that shocking for me,
Yeah.
because I kind of get, and Manila is also a melting pot. Funny
It is.
thing, I called melting pot a hot pot. So it's a hot pot. What? What's a hot pot?
That's a shabu.
There's a lot in the Philippines.
Oh, dude, it's totally kanji right now.
Yep.
See, that could be a joke. That could be the humor. You could.
Really?
That's your humor that you create.
Oh, hot pot.
Yeah.
They were like, what's a hot pot? Oh shit, melting pot. So anyway, Metro Manila is a melting pot.
Yeah.
And so like, I grew up with like whites and then mga halves, mga FilAms, Phil Canadians, Phil Aussies. There are so many Phil Aussies.
There's so
in
many.
Metro Manila, and I'm like, wow, and they're so beautiful as people.
I love their accent when they speak Tagalog.
Oh my
You can
God,
hear it,
oh.
but you don't hear it,
Ann
but you hear it.
Curtis. Ann Curtis, Sam Milby, James Reed.
My cousins.
Aussie, yeah, half Aussie. Catriona Gray is Aussie.
Filipino.
Aussie Pino. Anyway, so yeah, that's a culture shock. Moving in as a fully developed individual,
Developed embryo.
fully developed embryo.
Okay, but like, so now we're working in the kind of entertainment industry. We're trying to do this thing, right? We're trying to bridge the generations, and there's a version of entertainment that exists in the FilAm community, and a form of entertainment that exists in American communities, as well as another form of entertainment, which is Filipinos in America, right? And we all can nitpick what's wrong with each one. And I think what I like about our production and whatever we try and do is try and like stay true to ourselves, but also not run into those barricades of like, oh, you don't want to be chaka or like whack or something. You know
Thank
what
you for using chaka.
Wow, what is
It's
that? What is that word?
Chaka, ugly. That's a gay lingo for ugly.
Yeah.
You hear me
don't
always
think you
saying
do
that,
it.
chaka naman ito.
Cool, I
Because,
like
like,
that.
Now you know.
I'm into aesthetics. I appreciate beauty. So anything that is like, oh, chaka.
Yeah.
Our version is a kalatcon.
Okay.
So like, we talk about all these fucking kalatcons where like, it's like a Filipino concert where there's like one headliner, right? It'll be like, Kula Desma featuring all these fucking mini like photos of people that like, okay, they can sing.
Choose
but,
your
like,
character.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
choose your
yeah.
character.
It's Mortal Kombat Ultimate 30.
Marvel versus Capcom.
Marvel versus Capcom.
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like, oh, you're just gonna be a side character to this thing, right? If you want to be a side character, that's dope. You make your money. Look, if you gig every weekend and you're making that money, dope. But
Shout out.
my issue is operating your life and treating other people like you're in your main character arc when like you're playing support for bigger roles. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but don't treat people as such.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it resonates with me because that's very LA Magician, where they're, you know, they treat you like, oh, I know a secret and you don't. I have information that you don't, and it's almost like they're better than you. But like at the end of the day, man, we're all just fucking people, and it's like
Definitely.
we all react to the same things.
Yeah.
What makes me scared is gonna make you scared,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So who's to say that like, yo, your experience is better than mine? That's fucked up. And like, you're a better person than me? Look, I have faults, and I can admit my faults, and you know, I go through some bullshit, and I have, but like, the way you're carrying yourself, oh shit, tae mo,
But
is
you know,
like so precious.
I mean, bridging generations, that is actually something. That is, when you look at it, entertainment-wise, because I'm fully immersed in those
Right.
different
Fix this.
demographic. Like, most of the time, actually, my recent dilemma was, what is the definition of a FilAm? Can I consider myself as a FilAm? And then I looked at it on a social cultural kind of a perspective. Like, technically, I am, because I'm a resident, right? Going in citizenship. So definitely that would make me a FilAm.
Yeah.
Definitely, lalo if I get like a dual citizenship, then that's Filipino and American.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Technically, lawful, right? But then culturally, do I consider myself FilAm? Because like, if what I'm experiencing is the culture of FilAm, then I have experienced the culture of FilAm.
Yeah.
Even when I was in the Philippines. 'Cause
Right.
It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's similar.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
So?
Metro Manila is a hot pot.
It's a hot pot.
It's a melting pot, and so like cultures converge in Metro Manila.
Right.
It's like New York, right? So if
Sure.
you were in the different, wherever in the Philippines, most of them, if not all, wants to go to Metro Manila because that's where the industries are, the trade are, the whatever are. And I think that's what I'm. That's what I'm getting in the FilAm culture here. So it's not as what do you call this? It's not as different.
Yeah, no.
But then
no.
when you look at it on a generational landscape,
Yeah.
again, I'm from Metro Manila. My parents don't speak like how Jokoy speaks, like his mom, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
My parents, they speak straight English and they
Yeah.
speak straight Tagalog. They have an accent, maybe because Tagalog.
Yeah.
It's a different. It's in front.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's
English
a,
is like
it's an
like
it's an
at the back.
implode versus an explode.
Wow. Where did you get that?
Huh?
That was nice.
Because when you like lolo, your
Lolo.
tongue doesn't pass your teeth.
Lolo.
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 See.
So okay.
Yeah,
One more?
Lolo.
Okay.
Is your hair fake?
Like the English alphabet,
girl.
right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's smooth.
Yeah.
But then the Tagalog version of that, or like the Filipino version, is aba, kada, ega, hala, ma.
Yeah.
So it's stronger, I think. So the accent is from there. But when do we talk about speaking correct English? It's always the accent. I'm like,
Right.
I'm a communication graduate, right?
Yeah.
And if we get the message across, regardless of the language, regardless of the whatever.
Yeah, the intent. You get the intent.
If you get the intent, then that's it. Right?
Yeah, it's the difference.
Interesting.
Like phonetically, it's the difference, or mechanically, it's the difference between saying lolo and lovely. Lovely goes past your teeth,
Okay.
Lovely.
right? So that's an explode.
That's why you can't say lovely. Because it's like
Lovely.
love.
Yeah, but that's how the Filipino accent would say, love ko to.
Love, yeah.
Love ko to.
Love.
Right, but it stays inside.
It stays, yeah, I see it
right?
now.
Instead of love, I love. Love this.
Love ko to,
Oh my
love
gosh,
ko to.
lovely.
Right? Yeah. When you imitate the Valley accent,
Yeah.
you over explode,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Cali from the
Yes.
Valley.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. But it's just using another language's rules applied to the language you're trying to speak, right? Yeah. So going back on these, like, how are we gonna fix the, like, what are we doing that could change the entertainment landscape of
This.
exactly, like,
Look at where we are.
activations like this are so cool.
Look at where we are. We are in a mall.
in a fucking
right?
mall, dude.
If the lens is wide enough, you would see that Gold's Gym is literally this one, and this one is what? Sweet Express.
Sweet
It's a
Express.
train ride.
That's what they
And
called
then
my
at the back-
bedroom in college.
You would see.
I was there.
Dapat may papan, no?
I
Para
know.
makita nila second floor. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
So I think this is how we do it, because like Filipinos, well, in my study of
Sure.
media and entertainment,
Yeah.
we're like the number one producers and consumers of entertainment.
Right.
Right? But in the concept of producing, in the perspective of producing, we only produce in the comfort of our homes.
Right,
or
right.
if we like, okay, book a venue or
Yeah.
whatnot. But like activations such as this.
Shout out to Neupitz.
Hey, that place is good.
Sponsor ko yung next
I
time.
know. That's
Let's
why
bleep it.
I wanna go. I wanna do.
Oh, I thought you were being shady.
No, I'm not. No,
I
like-
was.
Then we'll bleep that one.
Sponsor mo yun.
I was.
I
Thank you,
like.
Neupitz.
I like Neupitz.
Yeah. They don't mind because they're rich.
Yeah.
However they want.
No, but like
earning.
Look, it's like doing activations like this. Like, who would have thought a live pod at a Filipino festival, let alone a mall?
Yeah.
It's
Like,
possible.
Plaza West
I
Covina,
want to do
shout out.
I want to do a podcast at Jollibee,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
While we
'Cause,
eat.
like we always talk about representation and entertainment, but in what perspective?
Yeah.
Like representation where? Because like representation is such a double-edged sword. I hate to use that word, but like
It
double-edged.
is.
Double edge or
Like,
representation?
okay, recently, I saw someone in Canada claims to be, she's the Queen of Canada. I don't know if it's Canada. I think it's Canada.
Okay.
She's like Queen of Canada or whatever.
Yeah.
She's a Filipina. That is representation.
Yeah.
Right? Because you see her in media. You see her getting broadcast
Yeah.
by a news channel and whatnot.
Yeah.
That is representation. So is Dolly De Leon being nominated for Golden Globes. Like representation, right?
Can
But
we-
I think we need to draw the line where we have to
Right.
fine-tune it in a way that it's not just to appear on screen.
Yeah.
That's not just representation. It's like there are so many forms and formats of representation.
Right.
This is representation. It's
Yeah.
like,
Can you imagine everyone that's passed by?
I was about to say,
Dude,
the
okay,
duration
go ahead,
of
go
our
ahead.
conversation. How many people are non-Filipinos looking at it, taking video story?
Yeah.
I mean, they saw a Matrix guy, so
They did. They did see
Is
Neo.
that Blade?
Is that Cisco?
dude,
is
my
that-
outfit changed later. I'ma be in,
Oh, sir.
from Konoha, an import.
Is that a Golden Lord?
He must be somebody,
There was
huh?
a movie in the '90s, and it was a Black American movie, but it was a superhero movie. So it was this guy who touched a meteor, and he became Meteor Man. But the bad guys, they were all black dudes with golden, like bleached heads, and their gang was called the Golden Lords. And they're like Golden Lords.
We should do a Filipino twist on that. See, that one is representation. You
Yeah.
just used it as a reference.
For sure.
See?
And for a representation to be like representing.
Yeah.
People should use it as a reference.
For
You
sure.
know, people should have a callback to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Americans, right?
Yeah.
When will we have a film again, TV and film
Yeah.
that you can
Well-
can reference it? Do you have a reference?
No,
Do you
it's
have a reference?
lumpia.
Well, Prince Zuko, but he was Asian. He definitely not
Yeah.
Filipino.
But you don't
No.
see his Filipino-ness. Yeah.
It's whenever they hear Filipino, they say lumpia
Exactly. I'm like,
or their wife.
do you even know how to roll a lumpia?
Dang.
No, I'm just
Bro,
kidding.
Yeah.
lumpia,
I can teach you.
lumpia rolling
do an
competition. That's
Lumpia rolling competition.
Yeah.
No, but it's just wild because like, especially in LA, right? It's so the hustle culture is so romanticized, right? But like, are you willing to put up your podcast setup in a mall with full gear, full cam, full lights, full mics?
I
If
think
that's not romantic.
I think that's the.
We need a candlelight.
I think that's the thing. That's the solution. Because like Filipinos are innately creative, storytellers, top of the line in storytelling with all due expressions
But
and intention.
We're also innately
Scared.
cowardly. I was gonna say that.
Yep.
Yeah, scared. Or like
Scared.
afraid to push the
Yeah.
right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Because like
Yeah.
this is courage,
Yeah.
And courage, mind you, came from the Latin word which means core. C-O-R.
Corn?
Core. C-O-R.
Core.
Which means heart. Courage is to tell with one's heart. When are we gonna be courageous to do this? And I think this is that. Like, I mean, I get it. People be looking at you. This may be like a what do you call that?
Spectacle.
It's a pop-up. It's a
Yeah.
spectacle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that is representation. You put
Yeah.
the lights.
It's a
you,
wonder.
You make the lights and you put it on yourself.
Yeah.
You don't wait for people to do that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's how you assert your identity. And I think, I think that's what FilAm. I consider myself FilAm. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been here for like
Phil-
5 years.
Consider yourself
man.
whatever you want.
Yeah. I identify myself as from the Matrix now.
You're
As a hot
FilAm.
pot.
Do you know kung fu now?
Well, they do. The Black Nike, do you see them? They're doing Arnis. That is representation right there.
Uh-huh.
Right? Arnis is innately Filipino.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for
Arnis.
sure. His niece. My nephew.
Niece and nephew. Hello.
No, but it's. I think that's why we've been doing pandesoul for so long. It's Filipino ingenuity with American gago. Like
Ooh, that's a new tagline. There it
not
is.
being afraid to just like assert
That
yourself.
is actually a good brand.
It is
Anyway,
a very
yeah,
good
yeah.
See,
tagline.
like most of the people, they just choose
Yeah.
Filipino, American.
But we are who we are.
It can, they celebrate more of their Filipino-ness, and I get it, right?
Yeah.
But then there's also beauty in being an American.
Bro,
right?
I grew up in OC. Like that's
Yeah.
like
Dang.
As American.
American. Shout out to the people in the OC.
hello.
Y'all are fabulous.
Anaheim.
Yeah.
Give us your money.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, please
The whole
don't.
city.
They're
people
rich,
out.
no?
Yeah.
They're rich.
Sponsor a pod.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Or the places that I've been to.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but like,
'Cause you go to
why-
nice places.
Why do we have to claim one when I have experiences from both and I've learned tools from both sides?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why do I have to be scared when my American upbringing taught me to be fearless?
Yeah.
Right? And my Filipino upbringing taught me how to be creative and how to listen.
Yeah,
And how to plot and
Yeah.
how to strategize.
Bro,
Right?
plot and strategize. You're starting a war.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
against,
is true. That is
against
true.
Kalakan.
That is true. I mean,
And that
we
itself
should
is
we
the
should do a
bridge,
master class.
right?
Hey.
I mean, I'm actually launching my master class. It's more media coaching.
Sure.
Like just pushing people to just use whatever it is, because we're in a digital era, right? We do this. You can see this on digital mediated communication. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it boosts personal branding, style, whatever. Because like, it's not just you anymore. It's opening the floor for like opinions and comments and
Right.
suggestions from people you don't know. People who just came across the content and then they just saw you and then they have 2 cents and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that actually, in part,
Yeah.
helps you build your personal
Yeah.
brand. And so I'm doing that. People, Follow me
Wow.
at direct_chan.
There you go.
Wow.
Hey.
Do you teach people how to like take that criticism, the good and the bad and the ugly?
Yeah, because I mean, criticisms have been considered bad, when in reality the root word is critical. And when you're critical, you actually build something up again. You deconstruct it and you rebuild it.
It's a
Yeah.
Therefore,
so critical
it's a
loop, yeah.
point.
it's a safe point. It's actually it's a checkpoint. But then people are like, oh my god, I'm so offended. But I'm like, fine, for sure. But like, that is the digital era.
Right.
When you put yourself out there, you are subjected to the most painful of everything. But then you can also use that to build yourself up.
So, real quick before we wrap, what is one Filipino, FilAm, whatever, creator other than yourself that you suggest our listeners to check out and like just be engulfed in?
I have 3.
Okay.
Okay, one for each of us. Do
Shit,
it all.
extra credit
Yeah.
pa.
Yeah, syempre overachiever.
Overachiever.
That's a toxic
Wow.
Filipino culture. FilAm or
Damn, I didn't get
Filipino.
that trait.
You know? Oi, what's up, brother?
I was gonna say half.
So 3. Number 1, Ruby Ibarra. Definitely Ruby Ibarra. Mixing storytelling.
Ruby
and
Ibarra,
hip-hop.
let's collab.
Oh my god, Ruby,
We're
shout
gonna
out.
let's
Ruby.
write comedy.
Hello. Definitely number 1, Ruby Ibarra. Number 2 is the Filipino
Raymond.
cannabis guy. Yep.
Okay.
That's representation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like, cannabis.
Oh yeah.
That's his name?
Something. Something
Filipino
so,
cannabis guy.
Something so
I haven't met him yet, but
What's the
Shout
word I'm
out.
fucking looking for? Something
streets.
up where they walk. Something as taboo as cannabis in our in our community, right? Putting it out there is like really fearless. Shit.
Yeah, that's taboo.
Yeah.
I mean, Filipino culture talking about cannabis. My gosh, that's a heart attack for your titos and your titas and your lolos and your lolas, right?
Tabo.
Tabo. And then last one, Hiraya Media.
Hey.
So we
shout
are
out.
a collective of Filipinos. Filipinos from around the world. We're scattered all across the world. I'm in LA. Someone is in San Francisco, New York, Paris,
Carson.
Hong Kong, Melbourne,
Orange County.
wherever.
Orange County,
And we
Carson.
only have one goal, is to help facilitate people telling their stories. It's not just the people with connections. It's not just the people with networks. It's not just the people with achievements. It's the typical Filipino,
Yeah.
who's living their lives, telling their stories, winning their battles and everything. We tell their stories. So www.hirayamedia.com. All the articles are there. We have a podcast on Hiraya, and then
And
definitely
it's also one of the sponsors for this podcast.
Yeah.
the Soul
This whole
Podcast.
Look at that.
Wait for we're gonna launch the Hiraya Podcast Network soon.
There it is.
Ooh,
We have a bunch of-
HBN.
We have a bunch of podcasts coming up that are not going to be this one. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, before we end the episode, please go on Spotify and YouTube. Check out past episodes. Go on our social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Click all the buttons, do all the things. And we're your hosts. I'm the Dremagix.
I'm EJ Villiam.
And our special guest,
Christian Reasonda.
Hey. And as always, oh shit, Vic's not here. You have to say don't forget your bow.
I have been in this 61 episodes.
It was a bit, but okay. And as always,
Don't forget your baon.
peace.
O sige na, Pandeez.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Pandesoul.
And check out previous episodes on Spotify and YouTube.
Thanks for laughing, and join us next week, because there's enough Pandesoul to go around.
And don't forget your baon!